Ukrainian soldiers struck the command post of Russia's 810th Guards Naval Infantry Brigade near the village of Belaya in Russia's Kursk Oblast, Ukraine's general staff claimed. The report came days after Ukraine reportedly launched renewed offensive operations in Kursk Oblast, which is seen as a crucial bargaining chip for potential peace negotiations. Almost 100 Russian ground assaults were repelled in Kursk Oblast over the past day, the general staff said. Such fire damage is an integral part of combat operations of Ukraine's Defense Forces units, which are engaged in combat operations on the territory of the Russian Federation, the statement read. No further details on the attack and the extent of the damage were disclosed. The Russian military has not commented on Ukraine's claim. Another Russian command post came under Ukraine's attack in Marino, Kursk Oblast, on January 2, according to the military. The Russian Defense Ministry alleged on January 6 that the Ukrainian advance was halted and that Ukraine's primary units were destroyed near Berdyn, a settlement along a road leading northeast to the city of Kursk. Ukrainian forces launched a large-scale operation in Kursk Oblast in early August, allegedly capturing up to 1,300 square kilometers, 500 square miles, of Russian soil. Since then, Russia has deployed reinforcements, including North Korean soldiers, in the area and reportedly retook around half of the lost territory. A lone Russian tank crew charged Ukrainian positions in the Lyman direction, got hit by a drone, panicked, turned tail, and tried to flee. But the 63rd Brigade's artillery and drone pilots didn't let them go. The sight of a single Russian tank driving alone across open terrain has become an all-too-common image in Ukraine. While it might seem like a minor tactical misstep, the presence of lone tanks is actually a glaring sign of deeper issues plaguing Russia's military: disorganization, poor coordination, and disastrous communication failures. In modern warfare, tanks are rarely deployed in isolation. They operate as part of a combined force, supported by infantry, artillery, and air cover. This coordinated approach protects the tank from ambushes and allows it to operate effectively on the battlefield. Fighters of the Warthog UAV battalion within the 24th Mechanized Brigade destroyed 2 Russian BMD-4s, 2 BMP-2s, and struck 2 T-80 tanks near Chasiv Yar. The Warthog UAV battalion, part of Ukraine's 24th Mechanized Brigade named after King Danilo, has been instrumental in the defense of Chasiv Yar, Donetsk region. Specializing in unmanned aerial vehicle operations, this unit has effectively utilized first-person view drones to target and destroy Russian military assets. So, in early January, the Warthog battalion achieved significant success by destroying 4 Russian T-62 tanks and 3 BMP-2 infantry fighting vehicles near Chasiv Yar. Reported as the result of a HIMARS GMLRS strike on Russian positions in the occupied part of the Kherson region. Ukrainians are working here because recent intelligence indicates that Russian forces are preparing for a potential offensive across the Dnipro River in the Kherson region. Reports suggest that Russia has assembled approximately 300 boats, likely intended for crossing the river to launch attacks on Ukrainian positions. Fighters of the 33rd Assault Regiment, alongside their counterparts, are conducting offensive operations in the Kursk region. They employed mortars, tanks, self-propelled artillery, cluster munitions, and D-30 guns, targeting a group of around 20 individuals. Ukraine's recent offensive in Russia's Kursk region reflects a multifaceted strategy aimed at disrupting Russian military operations and compelling Moscow toward negotiations. By advancing into Kursk, Ukrainian forces aim to destabilize Russian military activities, forcing the redeployment of Russian troops from other critical fronts. This maneuver seeks to alleviate pressure on Ukrainian territories and disrupt Russian offensive plans. Ukrainian officials have indicated that the incursion into Kursk is designed to pressure Russia into engaging in fair negotiations to end the conflict. By demonstrating the capability to carry the war onto Russian soil, Ukraine seeks to alter the strategic calculus in Moscow. By operating in Kursk, Ukrainian forces aim to disrupt Russian logistics and supply routes, thereby hindering the sustainment of Russian military operations in Ukraine. This strategy seeks to create operational challenges for Russian forces, potentially leading to overextension and decreased combat effectiveness. While the offensive has achieved certain tactical successes, it has also encountered challenges, including significant casualties and the complexities of sustaining operations on foreign soil. Russians are hitting Sudzha with S-300 missiles, already destroying several of their own villages. At least 3 S-300 rockets have hit Sudzha, and towns like Sverdlikovy, Lebedivka, Malaya Loknya, Darino, Makhnovka, and Plyokhovo have been destroyed. By the way, Sudzha is on Russian territory.
The civilian population is mainly at home or in a boarding school because the enemy has intensified shelling of the town of Sudzha and the surrounding villages. Many villages simply no longer exist, such as Sverdlikovo, Lebedivka, Maloloknya, Daryana. These settlements do not exist. The settlement Makhnovka, Plyokhova is also destroyed. In total, since the month of August, from the 6th of August to today, 36 civilians have died as a result of aerial and artillery shelling of the town of Sudzha. About 100 people received severe and moderate shrapnel injuries. This is as a result of the work of FPV drones and aviation, and a rather large number, 70 people, died of natural causes, but I would add 40 to 50% of elderly people died as a result of the shelling. Their hearts simply could not withstand it. As of today, the enemy is very actively using even S-300 missiles against the city of Sudzha. 3 hits with S-300 missiles on the populated area of Sudzha have already been recorded. The situation is quite difficult. FPV drones fly like swarms of bees. You could compare them to that.
Poland's Minister of Climate and Environment, Paulina Hennig-Kloska, said her country is ready to provide Ukraine with electricity. This could happen if Slovakia follows through on its threats. Moldova's Prime Minister Dorin Ryseyan calls for Russia to withdraw its troops and for Transnistria to peacefully return under Moldova's control. The goal is the reintegration of the country, starting with the withdrawal of Russian forces to allow proper regional administration.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.